How to get the cool kids out here? How to get y'all? Alrighty. How you doing?
I saw your video on about that Super Bowl commercial.
Which one was that?
The one where you're talking about El Paso's Great Wall. Have you seen that fence?
Oh yeah. I've not seen the fence, but yeah, I remember that commercial. I mean, the video.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, like you kept talking about like the how safe it made. Like I don't even know how safe that made the place. All I know was just kind of like made long enough for people to not really jump, but people still jump. Like I freaked out once because my mom got mad, and in a huff went to the Chamizal Park. It's split in two. One side's in El Paso, the other side's in Juarez.
Wow.
So anyway, that place just has poor lighting, despite the fact it's a federal park. It's kept terrible. Anyway, the point of the story was at least two people, jumped that wall. Jumped.
Wow. Like as you were watching it, they just jumped the wall.
No. It happened prior to, because the immigration, they had their choppers, they had everybody at full force.
Wow.
And I only say two because I know they caught one guy and they were dragging him, and I was worried because my mom, she's Mexican, and she left without. She sometimes leaves her things behind, and she would have been detained.
Right.
No, I got a call from my brother. Like I had to have my brother call her. She was mad at me. That's why she was there. To call her friend. So I had her call him, and I'm gonna find out much out later that she's fine. She walked home back.
Right.
But the whole time I'm walking one side or the other, while everybody from immigration just keeps checking for my ID.
Wow.
And the reason they do that is because it's so poorly lit. They can't tell that just 5 feet away that somebody else checked me. And I'm scared that my mom might have gotten detained.
That's rough, man. It really is.
Yeah, though, you know, I've heard a few copters since then, but for the most part, this place is safe.
Yeah.
El Paso, I don't know, it's weird. Like right down just by Juarez, it's so crazy, dangerous. A few bullets from the drug wars that were not too long ago, they died down, but they ended well. I actually hit the back of our. A few bullets made it across the border and hit the back of our city hall.
Wow.
And we put our baseball stadium there.
Man.
Brilliant, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right there in the war zone.
So they show that it's potentially possible for bullets to make it across the border, and the one place you want to put it in the
right there, right in the bullet zone.
I don't know. Besides, this place is more Hispanic. You know, you kind of want your own soccer team anyway.
Right.
Just not there. That's even worse. There's less things to absorb bullets.
Right. Man, that's crazy.
What's crazy is the world right now, you know? But
how do you feel about the wall in general? How do you feel about Trump and his wall? How do you feel about that?
Trump and his wall? I think that the Tigua Indians here want to crack at building it.
Oh,
that's another story. Like Texas, we have the Indians here are Tigua, and they own like their own casino.
Okay.
But one time they got screwed over from their casino by these lobbyists who were just we're telling people, we'll talk to the government to protect your casino, and it turns out that they were trying to they took the money from other reservations and stabbed them in the back, and then they couldn't do the same kind of operation for the casino.
Oh.
They could only do like gift cards and shit.
Wow.
Things have gotten straightened out, but now our own local Texas government doesn't want them having their own casino, and it's like technically they're a Mexican tribe, so they're not pretend. That's how they want to spin it. And I'm like, if that's the case, deport their asses. I know you won't do it. I know how the cost to do it. Either let them run their shit in peace,
right,
or kick their ass out.
One or the other.
You can't say that they're Mexicans and then say they don't have the right to their reservations that they got, and thus can't run the casino. The wall, but I know they want to build a wall, and as far as the wall, I think it's a necessary evil. Like a lot of people want to when people talk about bringing in immigrants, people want to forget why they're coming over. They want to say that the immigrants are good, but they don't say why they're coming over, because Mexico is so bad.
Right.
Like that's what happened. Not in Juarez, just a stone's throw away from here.
Right.
they were actually sending. It was so bad over there that they were just sending the injured over here in El Paso. Like, it's bad over there, and I get that. I once joked that the best way I can help is become a Mormon. I'm atheist. Okay. The best way for me is to become Mormon and marry as many women as possible, and just say, you know, I did at least something. I joke, but you know. I mean, that's a problem. Everybody says, yeah, it's northern Mexico. Well, congratulations, that's the largest part of Mexico. Right. And it's right over there. You know?
It's rough, man. But hey, I'm glad you're able to see things just from a common sense perspective, man, because it's a lot of that that's missing. You know, I just kind of want to bring that back. In my video, I kind of want to make you see it from a common sense point of view.
Nobody wants to talk about the nuance about Juarez. Nobody wants Mexico in general. I just say Juarez when I mean Mexico.
Because it's right there.
It's a passive thing.
Right, yeah.
I mean, I even forget what the first half of Juarez is. There's like some other half, but everybody's used to saying it.
Right.
But no, it's just like everybody doesn't want to talk about how corrupt that shit is. Like, they know. Like, there was a Black Lives Matter rally here. There was at least 3. I think the news reports that there was only like 3 police here.
Hold on, wait a minute. Slow down. There was a Black Lives Matter rally here?
Well, it was well, that's the funny story. It was actually the what was that vigil or around the time of the Dallas shooting?
Somebody. There's a lot of shootings. It could have been.
No, but the one with the shootings at Dallas, around when they were having that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So they had one in El Paso, and here's the funny bit. Because of those shootings of the police, chief polices and deputies and all that had to go down to Dallas to warn their deaths.
Okay.
El Paso's chief got ambushed by the media.
Wow.
And they just kept asking questions. How do you feel like about a rally over here? How do you plan on putting the security detail? How do you feel about all this? He just blew up in their face and said, at the end of the day, Black Lives Matter is a radical hate group.
Right.
And people in our own government got upset about that. There are some people who got upset about that. That was a dividing statement he made. And they tried to send a letter to fire him. And they was just talking about the precedents of laws being passed in El Paso that had effects on black people. There was like the letter sent, and that's what it was talking about. The one thing they didn't talk about, the one thing that they were trying to virtue signal about how El Paso was black friendly, the one thing they didn't mention was how El Paso's the place that was a game changer for basketball.
Okay.
The Don Haskins was the guy who got an all-black team together for UTEP.
Okay.
And put that together and won and changed basketball.
Didn't know that. Great history.
Yeah, no. Well, the Don Haskins somewhere.
Somewhere close.
And he's in that movie Glory Road as a there's a movie Glory Road about it, and he's like a guest attendant. The guy passed away, but that's a part of El Paso's history, a major part if you want to talk about that in black history. I mean, huge thing, still has it's reverbing till today. You know?
Right.
I mean, somebody was going to do it eventually. At least I hope, that I had that much faith in humanity that somebody would have done it, but he did it. He beat everybody to it.
Okay.
So, this is a place where it feels like all these problems in the world are only slowly creeping in, because El Paso, its name means the past. It's just finally showing its fate, Yeah. We feel like we're living too much in the past, because it just feels like everything moves very slowly.
Like, I mean, what do you mean when you say that? Do you mean like in the past as far as like politically, socially, everything?
A lot of that. Like I was talking about that Black Lives Matter vigil.
Yeah.
There was only 3 police. There was a news story about it, but that's one guy who said it's El Paso. It's slow, and it's like in terms of the tide of everything.
Okay, gotcha.
And that's how just like it is a pain that a lot of other things come slowly. We don't have like other things like other cities. But I like the slow pace. It gives you a second politically just kind of see the world, and when this stuff starts to show up, you've already had a good chunk. You've had your time to take it in and know where you stand.
Right.
It's something that I don't know. Maybe some other small cities have it, or maybe that's just a thing unique to El Paso.
I understand what you mean. So it's not like you're constantly getting inundated with one way of being, constantly over and over and over, like in New York, LA, from all points of view. But at the same time, you're kind of like able to have you're able to kind of think a little bit, able to breathe a little bit.
Yeah, you have to be, you know, before something hits you in the face. Like, we've had a lot of time to think until Trump's more strong immigration stance. It hit Arizona, where and a Mexican woman was deported.
Yeah.
Because she was supposed to be, because she broke federal law 20 years ago.
Right.
But they only did it till Trump's tighter immigration laws.
Okay.
And that freaked out people in El Paso because Arizona isn't too far away.
Right.
And our news media was telling, because they know there's a lot of illegal immigrants. I mean, we're right next to where our border state. That's bound to happen. And she was just like tearing up a little, telling people to go seek out lawyers. And now my dad told me there was a story where a whole bunch of lawyers have come out, and El Paso might become a battleground for immigration laws. I mean, it's already a sanctuary city-ish, light, soft.
Not officially, but it's kind of like that.
No, they passed it, but it's like they kind of flip-flopping on how far they're gonna. Well, we might tell ICE, we might not.
Okay.
And it's like a whole bunch of people were joking on this kind of meeting. It's like, is Antifa going to shut one? If they did that, El Paso County is more federally owned. They'll be ruining their lives if they riot.
Right.
And if they hit, God forbid,
Oh, no, yeah, don't do that.
El Paso's chill and it's slow. A lot of this stuff, like, I don't expect much to happen tomorrow in terms of we walk in, everybody gets to have their piece of time.
Right.
Unless somebody decided to, I don't know, go out of their way out of El Paso to bring that shit in.
Right.
It should be fine.
That's how it usually is, especially in smaller places. It's never like the people that are there that really want to cause major problems.
Yeah,
they come from elsewhere.
El Paso's chilling. They don't want to destroy what we've got.
Right.
Like, I don't care how people feel like politically, whether they're anti-Trump, because some statements in the media have been some of those statements the media's made was worse than what he actually was trying to say. He was trying to use nuance, but Trump with nuance.
Sometimes he doesn't really. It doesn't come out right. You just let it just come on out.
That's how you end up with last night in Sweden instead of a statement like overnight in Sweden.
Right.
There's problems over there, but because he said it, those three little words.
Take that and run with it and say, he said it was terror attack last night in Sweden. It's like, that's not what he said, but the way you said it leaves it open to interpretation and said, misquoting them.
Yeah. It wasn't a misquote. It's just he said the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And people, but it did. I think even one interesting thing that people are kind of just are on the internet is weird. It's like, is Trump a guy playing 4D dice and just pretending to be the fool, or is he in fact just the fool and opening people's eyes regardless?
I think what he does is he just speaks from the heart. He speaks from the heart. There's no filter. And eventually,
and that leads to some problems sometimes.
It leads to some problems because you take what he says, you misinterpret it sometimes. That's what I think. You misinterpret it. He'll mean it one way, but then he'll take it a different way.
Yeah.
That's why he gets into problems. That's why politicians gotta talk. You gotta speak very eloquently and use certain words.
I think it was like Dave Chappelle had an interview, and one thing he directed towards Trump was, you can get a lot of things done when you put your ego aside.
Yeah, it can.
And it's like,
but see, a part of that ego was what got him in the office.
Yeah, part of that.
People like it.
Yeah, but that works with rallies and all that.
Yeah.
But sometimes when it comes to playing the politician, which is the part where the question comes up.
You're correct.
Tuck that away, side. It's not a rally. It's like that one guy from The Wire that was just like, he was trying to play the politics like he would. Like it was,
Stringer Bell.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Avon checked him. It's like, you might be too hard for,
Which just reminds me, I only watched a little bit of The Wire because a friend, I gotta go check that out. I was watching Daredevil. I started watching Daredevil. Somebody was saying that this is like The Wire. And it's like, if Daredevil without the tights, I gotta watch The Wire like right now.
So you've not really seen it too much?
I've only seen parts of it.
Oh, you gotta watch it, man. You gotta watch it. All 5 seasons and start from the top and work your way on.
Like a friend of mine invited me over and I was just like watching some of it. Like, I didn't even know what it was called. That's the problem. And
yeah. You gotta see it. Like, you gotta put all pieces together and you have an understanding of how the black inner city is. Because everything in there, I lived. I've seen it. I've been there. I know what it is. So it was very accurate.
Yeah, I mean, my life's been a bit weird. Like, I don't know. Like, I've lived in Juarez when I was little.
Yeah.
I lived in a homeless shelter when I was little. And then I don't know. Like, a lot of people say about that homeless stuff about home without a father. My dad ran out and thankfully came back. And but when I talk to my family and they say, before he straightened his shit out when I was so young I can barely remember those days.
Right.
he was a complete asshole. That took a huge strain on my mom.
Right.
And she made bad decisions. Like the reason we were a homeless shelter because she couldn't stand her mom anymore, and we should have stayed that way.
Right.
They didn't make up. You know, it's kind of scary. Like this is what my life could have been like.
Right.
And you know, but Juarez and my mom. So I've been talking a lot.
Man, you good, man? Hey, I mean, no, I'm recording, right?
Oh, you've been recording?
Yeah.
Oh, here's a story that to record.
Okay.
My mom and Juarez, all those drug problems that were going on in Juarez, the war. My mom, sometimes it would die down. My mom would go visit Juarez to go put flowers on my grandma's grave, mi abuela.
Right.
And she would go visit other people because she lived in Juarez. She went to go see some friends. She comes home and she's crying. Like hours later, she was crying, and I asked her what was it. She was watching the Mexican news. Turns out 3 of the places she's went to later on in the day got shot up.
Wow.
And she goes like, I could have been there. Mijo, I could have been there. It was like,
it's rough, man.
Do you want another story about this?
Go ahead, man. Shoot.
My uncle, who apparently I used to be really close with as a kid, but when I was growing up in Juarez, I was only there till I was like 3 or 4.
Right.
Apparently, I used to know a lot of Spanish, but apparently somewhere along the line, when they were trying to teach me English, I butchered both languages, and I ended up mostly speaking English. And now I got to learn Espanol all over again.
That's how it is, because you start to speak one way, especially when you were a small child.
I was in special needs because they didn't know what to do with me because I was just so gibberish. But anyway, so my uncle, who apparently I used to be my best friend as a kid, he gets shot because apparently these 2 kids wanted to make themselves look tough for the cartel, and this rumor has it he might be related to one of my other uncles who might be a doctor. I don't know. That's a rumor, and I'm not sure. But all I do know is apparently they shot the wrong person to impress the cartel, and they end up getting shot.
Wow.
So I lost a family member because 2 people were being idiots.
Crazy, man.
Like they tried. I know for a fact that like they tried to take in kids into the cartel because people, when they see kids, they hesitate. You know, like I've seen movies and stuff try to have like child villains, but I think one of the ones that did the best were playing it low for half the movie was like RoboCop 2.
Okay.
Where he hesitates because like one kid, it's like they play around like he's like kind of over the top that kid sometimes, but it's like whenever it's like him pointing a gun, it's like they play the movie serious.
Right.
Like you hesitate.
Yeah, you do.
You see a kid, you just think of, you know, this kid should just be playing, should not be corrupt.
Your feelings get involved, and you're like, this is a child, but that child can kill you.
And the cartel play off that. They recruit kids, like, and all that stuff is just like over there, and people don't want to talk about that.
Right.
Like I can make out some of the stories I hear like on news because I work in a factory.
Okay.
And you hear and they have like the Mexican channels on, and sometimes they'll have the news on, and they don't want they'll say, oh, Trump, immigrants aren't bad people, but you don't want to talk about the immigrants trying to leave the bad situation,
right?
To live a better life where they're going to be persecuted for their immigration status, because if that's preferable than living in your shitty city where a child is. My mom was trying to scare me with this one story of kids who are just working for Pepsi, recycling the bottles and making next to nothing, but they need to make something because there's no job market in some parts of central Mexico.
Wow.
And they're just like, they don't have gloves and they're in terrible conditions, and it's just like, oh, well, Mexico, in the US, they get paid well. Well, and in Mexico, the regulations are shit.
Right.
And it's like...
And it's not a poor country over there either.
It's what?
It's not a poor country. Is it poor, or is it mismanaged?
Rich managed, but a lot of people get... they claim that a lot of people don't want to rock the boat because there's emergence of a strong middle class arising. Barely. We're in 2017. This is applicable to the year. It is, and that people are concerned that the middle market, the middle class is barely emerging.
Right.
Like I've been there before. My brother. Another antidote about Juarez and and a story of my brother being an asshole. When I was a kid, my brother would like to keep me next to him and not run off by scaring me. And what he would tell me to scare me is, don't run away because you're white, because like he's dark skinned, but I'm white, and he's telling me if you run away, the cartel's gonna kidnap you, cut you open, gut you, stuff you full of drugs, sneak you across the border, and just say, yeah, he's in a U.S. immigrant. He's U.S. He's just sleeping to cross the bridge.
Wow.
I tell that to some people who are from Juarez, and I have to fight the need to keep my jaw dropped. Because the answer is, well, that's life in Juarez.
Wow.
Exactly. That response, I have to fight to keep back when some people just say, that happens.
That's crazy.
Like, that's something you should put on your camera.
Yeah, I should put it on the camera, like...
Yeah. Oh, food for thought.
Hey, man. Great talking to you, man. What's your name?
Isam Shah.
All right, Isam.
Yeah, it's I think it's a Middle Eastern. My dad butchered an Arabic name.
Oh, okay. So it was an intention to have one name, but it might not have gone the right way?
Yeah. Yeah,
Jacob's brother is Esau. Jacob's brother is Esau. He sold that bowl of soup. Sold his birthright. Sorry.
Jacob's brother was Esau, right?
Esau sold Jacob his birthright for that bowl of soup, and then Jacob had that over him, and that was I read the Old Testament also.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, at least now it came from somewhere. It's just like some. I don't know. I thought he was just like ashamed that he may have screwed. Like my middle name, he screwed up.
What's your middle name?
It's Word. It's Word. It's supposed to be German and Ward, but he didn't put the two little dots above.
Oh, so W-U-R-D?
No, it's supposed to be W-O, but with those two little dots.
Oh yeah, I got you.
And then D, but it's a Ward. It's Word.
Oh, okay.
You get the German and the Jewish mix going.
My dad's from Austria.
Okay.
And my mom's from Juarez. My dad was born on a military base, so he's got that.
Oh, gotcha.
Nice to talk to you.
Nice talk to you, man.
You know, have a good night, and enjoy tomorrow's conference.
Well, you gonna be there?
Yeah, I paid for my ticket.